Absolutely no. Because how would you, as the creator of your story, know what that book should look like? That's an idiotic thought. No, you have no idea what that book should look like. All right? Yeah, that is a reason for rejection right there. Okay? And we are looking, this is a quote she gave me, we are looking for any reason to reject the book. Why? Because they're getting an avalanche of submissions, and that's not their job. You know, really their job is to produce books through their publishing house. All the departments in their publishing house. You have the editing department, you have the graphics department, you have the budgeting department, the PR department. It's called a house because there's many rooms in that house. So you're trying to get an agent. Maybe you do get an agent. Okay, great. Now that agent has put you in the queue with all the other projects that she's got. But she's got some other authors, you know, that already have books published, and she's obviously going to go for the low-hanging fruit. So you're a first-time author, so it's going to be a little, you know, she loves your book. You know, otherwise she wouldn't take that book, but she loves your book. But she's got to make money herself, right, and support her office and et cetera. So you've got that. You sign the contract. She gets 15% in perpetuity of whatever you get. You're hoping to get 10% to 15% off the cover price, all right, of the book, minus the advance that they give you. It's an advance against royalties. I mean, it's advance against future sales. That's what an advance is. It's not just free money. It's an advance against the sales. And now, as I understand, there are these clauses in the contract that say if you don't meet the advance, then you're going to owe them money back. Oh yeah, you can sigh. That's true. Stuff is pretty arcane. I'm telling you, it's pretty pernicious.
They had that right in the contract with Goldman Sachs.
Yeah, you better have your own attorney review that contract with your agent, and then review the contract that she hands you from the publisher as well. There's all kinds of payback. In fact, I was just talking back to Barnes & Noble. When you sell that book, let's say I do get my books to Barnes & Noble, they have what's called a churning process. And this is really nasty, is that, yeah, they will pay you for the books 60, 90 days net, but they will have up to 6 months to return the book as well. So if that book is not selling in the first 2 to 3 months, what's the point of keeping your book on the shelf? You know, it's like a used car lot. They want to keep new material coming in because the buyers presumably are coming back and looking at that shelf. It's a mystery shelf. They want to know what's new. They don't want to keep seeing the same wares on that shelf. So they'll return the books to me, and that's anathema. I mean, that's a word that we hate in the book publishing business, returns. Oh, don't even say that word. You know, that is a nasty curse word. Don't say the word returns. I have very little returns. I mean, I have minuscule amounts of returns, barely ever. Sometimes because they're damaged, I get returns, but not returns based on no sales. And one of the reasons that I have very little returns is because I have very little business with those chains. I really don't care about those chains. They don't care about me, and I don't care about them. Okay, most of my sales are coming direct sales, retail sales at the book festival, at the conferences that I go to. But I do get orders through Ingram Books, Baker and Taylor, Follett Library. These are the wholesalers and the middle person. They send me the order because the Barnes & Noble or Borders, they want 10,000 invoices coming every month to them from these little publishers, medium or small publishers. So they have the wholesalers, and the wholesalers order from me. The nasty part about that is that they take 60% off the cover price, because they're the middleman. They have to get a little slice of cheese in between there. And the bookseller, they need to get 42%. Hope you're making notes. They have to get 42 because the numbers are the numbers, and it's a very minuscule amount that we're talking about. So my books are $7.95, you see. So we're talking about $3.18 at the end of the day for each book. So in the book business, you need volume, basically. All right. So back to this churning thing, they can do that as well, and they do that. Now you're stuck. You got the books back, and I have to pay for the books going out to Ingram to the wholesaler, and I have to pay for the returns too. Whatever they say is the UPS charge, I have to pay for that as well. So I'm really not that interested. They send me the orders, fine, but I'm not really soliciting Barnes & Noble or those, they know me through the wholesalers if people come in, etc. So you've got your publisher. I told you a lot of the, you're waiting for the PR to come out. You're waiting for your review in the New York Times, LA Times, Washington Post. You're waiting for your reviews to come out. Hopefully something does. Librarian's Journal. Library Journal, that is. You're waiting for reviews to come out. Sometimes reviews do sell the book. Sometimes they don't. We've had great reviews. We've had no reviews. We don't know how these books sell, unless, again, you're Hillary Clinton. All right, that pre-sells the books. So I want to leave that section behind now. I think we've covered, in general, a lot. Remember that when you submit to the agent, you are submitting what's called a query letter. And if you go to Amazon or you just Google query letter, they have books and books and books on writing the unfailable, query letter that will 1,000% get your book in there. How to write that one little page, which is supposed to wedge through to get your book in there. So you can purchase that book. There's a whole industry, based on query letters. Submission guidelines. I mean, there's books on how to get your book published. It said there's courses like this. There's all kinds of scams, as you've heard of let's go into print on demand real quickly, and then we'll go to independent publishing. You've all heard of print on demand, right? POD. Some of you have experienced POD. They're sitting in the audience that have come to me asking me, what the hell do I do now? They've screwed me. What they do, POD, print on demand, means that they will print your book, 1 book, 10 books, 6 books, as many books as you want. But the bad part of that is, they look like nice books, and they'll list them on Amazon for you, and they'll do the minimal for you like that, so you will be on the databases. But the problem is you still have to sell the books. Again, the author must sell the books. The POD, that company is just sort of a printing company that's decided that they will just take anybody's books and they will do 6 books if you want 6 books. But the books are unsaleable because of the price that you're paying to get them printed. So a book like this, I have my softbound editions out there. You'll see the $7.95. These are $15.95. The $7.95 book, if I want to get 500 of those printed in the U.S., print on demand, it would cost me $7.95 each. So how am I to make money? If Ingram wants 60% off the cover price, I'm losing money. What am I doing this for? Unless I just want to, print 100 books to give away to my grandchildren of photographs from our relatives in Poland or something. But, the idea is we really would like to sell some books here. At least we'd like to recoup our money, our printing money, right? But you cannot do that on print on demand. This is what's not understandable. And right now, I have a friend in here that we're discussing how to pull the ISBNs away from the print on demand, because the ISBNs is how all the book companies, Barnes & Noble, et cetera, Amazon, orders your books based on the ISBNs. I just wrote this down, Bowker.com, because if you decide to independently publish, you will go to Bowker.com, you will purchase your own ISBNs. I wrote this down, copyright.gov, you can copyright your book for $35. It's nice to have your own copyright. Sometimes if your book does explode, it would be good for you to have a copyright. Writer's Digest, Literary Market, I told you this is where to find the agents, where to find the distributors, where to find the wholesalers. and to study what the publishers are doing as well. Dan Pointer, you could, I forget what it is, I think it's called Para Publishing, P-A-R-A, Publishing. You can go online. He is like the king of independent publishing, and he used to give a course at the Learning Annex when they were still giving courses. And I learned a lot from Dan, actually, and he's got a great site. He really has current information on a lot of, you know, let's say you're independently publishing your book. Now you want to get it out to all the parents' magazines in the U.S., okay? And maybe there's like 180 parents' magazines. So how long would it take you to do that research? Well, he's already got them. All the parent magazines, and the editors' names are current, and he'll sell you the stickers. You know, it's a whole great business that he has produced, but he is very reliable, and he's a good man. I think you speak to him on the phone for like, I don't know, $3 a minute or something.